Okay, this is Medical Mystery. I'm doing this part two on dating with disabilities. The, hopefully wrap it up here. Shouldn't be too long. Get back to a couple more truths about dating with disabilities. Going back to if you want to date, try an online dating service, which personally I have tried, found successful. Um, as I mentioned in the prior one, you're going to find in the biographies, like I mentioned before, three key things for both men and women. They're looking for financial stability. They are looking for hardworking and active. That pretty much leaves 99% of us out. But don't be discouraged because I've got some ways that you can help get, not get around that, but help yourself out. Like I told you, I mentioned in the prior one about becoming more active, more involved. There are some other options. I know there's those of you who suffer from anxiety, those of you who are homebound. I think that would be a great opportunity for you to start a blog or something. Take that time, start writing, um, start sharing your experiences, write down what's going on in your life, what you're feeling, what you're dealing with, how it's affecting you. Um, your story could affect hundreds and thousands of other people going through the same thing, and just by you becoming more involved, you're going to touch the lives of so many other people, and at the same time, you're going to be achieving the goal of also filling up your days by doing something productive. Um, Another thing, if you live at home, no matter what your age is because of your disability, I think it's important, if you don't already do this, I think it's important that you contribute financially in some manner. Um, I know a lot of parents don't take money from their kids or refuse to. Um, they want to see their kids, especially those with disabilities, live the best life they can. Um, Offer to pay cable bill, internet bill, um, go out shopping one day, put some food in the house, do something like that. Um, that way you're kind of earning your keep, because I'll explain why. Um, it's going to further build up your self-confidence and your self-esteem and self-worth. You're not going to feel, you know, kind of worthless. I felt worthless living at home, being disabled and having to depend on everybody for everything when I was at my lowest point, and I'm collecting disability, and I'm trying to contribute and nobody's taking any money, and it really kind of bothered me that they felt I almost felt like they felt low of me, that they wouldn't take money when I'm trying to pitch in because I want to pull my weight. I still want to feel like I'm contributing to society. I want to be a contributing member. Um, the second thing, and most important thing, I always live by the rule of I don't like to lie. And I'm going to go back to this um, scenario of a dating site. You meet somebody, you see they're looking for somebody financially secure, whatever, but you see that you're very compatible in almost every other area. So you start talking. You hit it off really good. Eventually, the question's going to come up, what do you do for a living? It's going to happen no matter what relationship you're in, how much money you make, or what you do for a living. So here's what you do. We've got all the bases covered going back to the first video. Your answer is very simple. You're going to say, I'm currently disabled, but I'm involved with these charitable organizations. I spend my time at the local church group. I am working with a youth organization. I donate my time doing this or whatever. They're going to say, okay, what about living situation? Well, right now I'm just renting a one room, upper or lower room, whatever the case may be. You can say rent because you're contributing to the household. And your bedroom is your bedroom because you are paying towards the house. So as long as you're contributing, technically you are renting. So as soon as somebody says, what do you do for a living? And you tell them you're on disability, you follow that up right away with all these extracurricular things you do. You don't sit there and hesitate or pause or wait. You don't want to let it sink in too soon. You want to show that that disability isn't really a main factor, that you're preoccupied with all this other stuff. You're writing a blog. You're writing for an online news magazine. You're doing all this stuff to fill up your time. Your days are full. It's nonstop. So it really, your disability does not hold you back. It actually puts you in a whole different light because you've taken your disability and you've turned it into a positive. You've made yourself, you've established a friendship, you've established a connection, and even though everybody always puts financially secure, but who's financially secure? I mean, let's face it, who is really financially secure in this world? Nobody. Um, but they always put that. Um, and you put down, you already said that you're on disability. Now you got this income and you got your time filled. So you're busy. The only part missing is you may not be able to be as active, like hiking, swimming, whatever. That can easily be overlooked. Then I've been there, done that. It doesn't mean a lot. Um, advice to people who are dating with disabilities. These are things that matter. Your attitudes for one. Um, don't look at yourself as different from other people. Um, don't look at yourself as less than other people just because you're disabled, because you're not less than other people. You're the same as other people. You just had a setback in life. It's not like you chose this. Um, and if you have kind of a, if your attitude is kind of off, it's going to come across that way, and that person's going to sense that. So you want to have kind of an upbeat attitude, and that's going to really shock the person you're with, making you again more desirable. Believe it or not, being disabled can make you desirable. Be yourself. Do not try to overcompensate just because you're disabled. Don't try too hard. A lot of people try too hard because they're disabled. They figure that, alright, I'm disabled, I gotta work extra hard now to compete against these other people that aren't disabled just so I fit in. And that's not the case. People in general just want to find somebody that's themselves. Whether it's a man or a woman, they want somebody that's honest and true. So just be honest and true to yourself, and the rest will fall into place. Just because you're disabled, it doesn't change who you are either. Um, I've met people that, and I've known people that are disabled. Um, I've known people that have been disabled since birth, but I've also known people that are disabled later on in life. Um, and they were really awesome people prior to being disabled, and their disabilities didn't change them, and they're still awesome people. And I know people that were total dicks prior to being disabled, and they were disabled, and you would have thought they would have changed their ways, and it didn't. They're still total dicks. I mean, you're just the person you are. The disability doesn't change who you are. So stay true to yourself. Um, if you were born with a disability, then most of the people I've met are genuinely nicer than those than what I would call a normal person. Just don't let anybody change who you are. Don't let anybody bring you down. There's still a lot of decent people out there, And they just don't walk around carrying signs or banners. But there's still a lot of decent people out there. Be confident in yourself. Confidence is key. Men and women both like confidence, not arrogance. There's a difference. We like confidence. Um, when it comes time to reveal that you're disabled, you'll be that much more appealing because you're not letting the disability hold you back from anything in life. So just be confident in who you are as a person and don't dwell on your disability. And if you have to mention it right away, don't make it the focal point of the conversation. Don't always talk about it. Don't always bring it up. The biggest turnoff I hear from people and why they break up with people with disabilities is because they complain constantly about being disabled. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. I hate being disabled because I can't do this. But you know what? I can't play pro football. I can't drive a NASCAR. I can't pitch a no-hitter. I don't dwell on it. And I'm not going to complain about it because that's not in the cards for me. It's not who I am. You've got to play with the hand that the cards were dealt you. And you have to move forward with that. After my six strokes, I wrote and published a book. So good things can happen even after tragedy. You just gotta keep the faith and you gotta keep trying. You gotta keep your confidence up. You gotta just keep at it and you gotta not let the disability get the best of you or you will lose. I'm telling you some things to watch out for. Some people out there are desperate, and being on disability might be appealing to them. Since you have no job, you could help somebody save a lot of money by becoming an instant babysitter and taxi driver. I've seen this happen before. Some men and women don't portray themselves as who they are, but when they find out that, oh, there's a guaranteed check every month, things suddenly change. Now you become appealing. Being on disability is also guaranteed monthly income. Depending on who you meet, that also might be appealing to them. You know, not everybody's honest about what they make, what they do. And having an extra guaranteed income always helps. Be careful. Be very careful. Some men and women out there think that since you're on disability, you don't have a brain. So you will be easy pickings for scammers. So if you venture on dating sites, be very careful. I've had success, but I've had to sift through the scammers and it's an easy way, which I will leave a description below. That one of the dating sites, I was actually working with the security team, and in less than a week, I found 19 scammers in less than a week. And they should have put me on the payroll. I wound up meeting a nice girl on the site, but I signed up for a month. I quit after a week. I had already met somebody, but 19 scammers. I I can show you how if you use Google as your search engine, as your whatever they call it. I can't think of the word. Whatever. There's an easy way to tell. Um, Also on dating sites, one of the quickest things they're going to want to do is get you off the dating site. They want you instantly to start emailing. Don't fall for that. You stay on the dating site and you communicate back and forth that way. But I'll clue you in on how to find if it's a scammer or not. But the number one thing you have to watch out for, and I found this out, I couldn't tell you how many times. When you look at society today and what we become, you can't tell if it could be a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, it could be anybody. But there's a lot of people that are addicted to all forms of medication. And the fact that you're on medication is another thing that's appealing, especially if you're on pain medication. If you're on pain medication, lock it away. Keep a close eye on it until you know these people. Don't let anybody know where you keep your medication. Don't talk about how much you get. The second anybody asks how much you get, watch for red flags when it comes to questions about medication, because that's a bad sign. But in closing, if you like the video, please subscribe. Um, Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Send me your thoughts, questions, opinions. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your stories. I'd love to hear your ideas. I'd love to know what it's been like for you guys out dating. In your stories, have any of you had success, failures? What are your secrets? What's worked for you? What hasn't? Um, I'd like to do some more um, videos, but I'd like some input. So give me a hand here and clue me in. Tell me what you'd like to see next. Um, None of us asked for this. I'm doing this and trying to help us out because I know a lot of us have a high rate of suicide. And when it comes to it, all of us just want to be loved. Men, women, whether they're disabled or not. So I've seen a mixture of men and women, one disabled, one not, or two disabled, and I've seen all kinds of combinations work. But I'm just trying to give some ideas, some tips that might help you out, some advice. Um, I just don't think you should be scared. You should feel alone. You shouldn't feel ashamed. Um, and again, I went through a rough period. I was laying in the hospital bed, fighting for my life, and my wife was committing adultery in my bed where I was sleeping. My, my bed. Yeah. I guess she did not honor the sickness and in health, or for better for worse, or faithfully and forever yours, and all that other stuff. Um, One of the most important things is to treat people with respect. Treat them with love, kindness. Every marriage, every relationship will go through hardships. Just be open, honest, tell the truth. It's out there. You'll find it. It's a rather long-winded speech of mine. I get that way. It's part of my problem. But trust me, you follow some simple tips and some of this stuff just might work for you. It's worth a try. I hope to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. Again, please subscribe, leave comments below. Again, go to HotPinkSun. I'll leave her in the description box. She's awesome. She's got a lot to say. Her videos are great. And I will see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.